Hello, my beautiful people. You are welcome back to Prospect Channel TV today. Thank you very much for having you here. Putin puts Russia's nuclear forces on high alert, increases readiness to launch. As the crisis in Ukraine rages on, President Putin has ordered Russian nuclear deterrent forces put on high alert on Sunday in response to what he called aggressive statement by leading NATO powers. The movement, Putin has ordered Russia's nuclear weapons prepared for increased readiness to launch, raising the threat that the tension could boil over into a nuclear war, CBS reports. In giving it, the Russian leader also cited hard-hitting financial sanctions imposed by the West against Russia, including Putin himself. Speaking at a meeting with his top officials, Putin directed the Russian defense minister and the chief of the military's general staff to put the nuclear deterrence forces in a special regime of combat duty. A special range of combat duty. The Western country hasn't only taken friendly actions against our country in the economic, but top officials from the leading NATO members made aggressive statements regarding our country, Putin said in televised comment. The alarming step came as street fighting broke out in Ukraine's second largest city, and Russian troops squeezed strategic ports in country's south. Advance that appeared to make a new phase of Russia's invasion following a wave of attacks on airfields and fuel facilities elsewhere in the country. The capital, Kyiv, was eerily quiet, after huge explosions lit up the morning sky, and authorities reported blasts at one of the airports. Only an occasional car appeared on a deserted main as a strict 34-hour curfew kept people off the street. Terrified residents instead hunked down in homes, underground garages, and subway stations in anticipation of a full-scale Russian assault. The past night was tough, more shelling, more bombing of residential areas and civilian infrastructure. Ukrainian president said there is not a single facility in the country that the occupiers won't consider an admissible target. Following his gains to the east in the city of Kyiv and multiple ports, Russia sent a delegation to Belarus for peace talks with Ukraine, according to Kremlin. Zelensky suggested other locations, saying his country was unwilling to meet in Belarus because it served as staging ground for the invasion. Until Sunday, Russia's troops had remained on the outskirts of Kyiv, a city of 1.4 million, about 20 kilometers, 12.4 miles south of the border with Russia, with other forces rolled past to press the offensive deeper into Ukraine. The U.S. pledged an additional $350 million in military assistance to Ukraine, including anti-tank weapons, body armor, and small arms. Germany said it will send missiles and anti-tank weapons to besieged country and that it will close its airspace to Russian planes. The U.S., the European Union and the United Kingdom agreed to block selected Russian banks from the SWIFT global financial messaging system, which moves money around more than 11,000 banks and other financial institutions worldwide. part of a new round of sanctions aiming to improve a severe cost on Mexico for the invasion. They also agreed to impose restrictive measures on Russia's central bank. He who the gods will destroy will first make him deaf. Putin working towards personal destruction, just a matter of time. Let every country release their nuclear weapon. This nonsense must stop. Those who thought that the economic sanctions is not working should have a rethink. Those sanctions are giving him sleepless nights because it will basically penalize Russia, and Putin knows it. In the 21st century, there are different ways of fighting, not only with guns. When sanctions tackles desperation's moves, it comes up. He thinks he's Alpha and Omega. Okay, let's see how this will take him. Putin putting Russia's nuclear force on high alert shows Putin has failed on his mission. He's overrunning Ukraine in few hours that has now dragged to 40 days on. Okay, God will disappoint the devices of the crafty and will not allow their hands to perform their enterprise. He is always acting like a fearful child. He is always bragging, brandishing and boasting of nuclear weapons over every single issue that calls for dialogue, reapproachment and common sense. Only Putin and North Korean leaders brags with nuclear weapons, not even China. Don't other nations have nuclear weapons? Besides, he is a corrupt leader who has stockpiled billions of dollars in Western banks. No corrupt person wants to die if he does not care about death. Why does he live in a bunker and goes about in armed vehicles surrounded by battalions of security guards? He is only and always playing mind games with Western leaders. Putin will never fire a nuclear weapons in his lifetime. He should destroy the earth, let everyone rest. This is just nonsense. He was thinking that the war will be a walkover. Perhaps he could not believe the resistance he met. I love you, Putin, but this war is no for me. And I commend the Ukrainians for being courageous to defend their father's land in face of this uncalled for aggression, Putin. This may not go as you expected. Peace is the only key. Dialogue is the only answer. I'm dropping it here, guys. Share your thoughts with us. Thank you very much. Bye for